There's a few points that I kind of missed in my last video talking about viewer retention, attention spans, etc. that I think are actually pretty important. I probably should have mentioned these points in my video, but I missed them because I don't really do scripting all that much. When I do scripting, I can't help but feel like things feel a little more unnatural, and I just rather prefer the more sincere kind of one-to-one style of doing commentaries. It's to me personally, I think it just feels better. I think when I watch a video that does scripting versus one that does like something like this, I actually kind of prefer this format. But anywho, I got a few comments. I also get a few messages as well. People were going, oh, you could update your format, times have changed, standards have changed, and people's expectations for what a video is like has changed. And I understand that. I understand that we live in some sort of attention economy, or at least on the internet, there's some kind of hyper-competitive attention economy that, quite frankly, if we're just being honest with ourselves here, is pretty detrimental to people. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I have a pretty long attention span now, but back then I didn't. And I know from personal experience that when you have a very low attention span, that shit is not good for your mental health. So I personally, because of this, I do not consume short attention span content. I rarely go in shorts. I've never downloaded TikTok. I don't use Instagram Reels. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. I generally also avoid videos that are hyper-edited, and the reason for that as well is because of overstimulation. Now, I don't have any sort of like neurological, problems, but overstimulation legitimately is like anxiety-inducing to an extent. When I'm watching a video, and I'm not talking about like actual anxiety, I'm talking more of like wow, I feel like I need to get the fuck up and get out of my house kind of anxiety. When I'm watching a video that's hyper-edited, I could feel my IQ lowering, okay? So I avoid that shit for a reason, and I especially avoid making content like that. My principle is, if I can't stand to watch it, why the fuck would I make it? You know what I mean? Like, why would I contribute to this problem? Because quite frankly, it's genuinely an epidemic. YouTube is slowly turning into TikTok. People's mental health is just tanking, and I know people want to have like these quote-unquote rational sort of beliefs about this stuff. Oh, when I click on a video, I just want to get straight to the point. I got a comment like this, by the way. A guy saying, oh, I don't like all the fluff that comes with regular videos, and I just want them to get straight to the point. That really, I don't care how you try to rationalize it, man. Listen to me when I tell you, from experience, doing this is bad. Like, look at the world of like global news, for example, or even like national news. Okay, back in the day, they used to just simply tell you the story. They told you what happened, the bullet points, etc. They just told you the story in a couple of minutes. Compare that to what you get nowadays. What is the most commonly consumed form of news? Internet news. Not many people read the newspaper anymore, which, by the way, I used to actually enjoy doing that as a kid. I was like 8 or 9 years old. I used to enjoy, reading the newspaper. I believe it's something that, we as a generation should bring back, just casually, like it's reading the newspaper, as quote-unquote boring as it might be, genuinely, to me, is a healthier way to consume news. Now, my other point as well is that if you look at internet news, right, it's hyper-competitive, just like YouTube, just like TikTok, just like social media. It's hyper-competitive. These news companies want your clicks. And what do they do to get your clicks? They produce sensationalist content. They have sensationalist headlines, just sensationalist everything. And it's in part why things have gotten so negative and so crazy recently, the past decade or so, because this has really genuinely gotten out of hand, and the same thing will happen to YouTube as well. If you think YouTube is bad now, wait till you see how YouTube is in 5 years, because this is naturally where it's going to go. When you have a platform, when you have a system that promotes the sort of low attention span, sensationalist content, you are shooting yourself in the foot as a platform. And I don't make these complaints because, oh, boo-hoo, no one watches my content. I know that's how my video might have came off, but it's really, I was generally trying to just get the point across that like attention spans are pretty low nowadays. Yeah, there's studies about it. Yeah, there's a lot of anecdotal evidence. Like, yeah, well, look at TikTok. I have siblings that use TikTok. They literally can't even sit through a full song. Their attention spans have gotten that bad from TikTok. Okay, so I know what TikTok does to people. I know what Shorts does to people. It's bad. Okay, but this focus on sensationalism is detrimental to people's mental health. It's detrimental to social cohesion. We're seeing that now in the West. The political tribalism is literally just a product of news companies increasingly radicalizing their viewer base just to keep them retained. The same thing will happen to YouTube on a literal sense. Social media as well. I mean, we're already seeing it, man. The whole world of politics is full of extremism now here in the West, especially here in America. It's genuinely toxic. And as someone who's been in all sorts of sides of the political spectrum as I figure things out and go along as I do it, I could tell you, any kind of extremism, and I don't care what kind of extremism it is completely illogical and not the way. You lose yourself the further you get into this rabbit hole. And with YouTube, as I said, same thing is happening. When the viewers get kind of trickled into the same, let's just say 20 channels, and 5 years from now, Mr. Beast, fucking this channel, that channel, this channel, that channel, things will be so uninspiring and uncreative that YouTube as a platform could very well die. YouTube has very much thrived on mid-sized channels or small-sized channels blowing up out of nowhere and becoming popular in their niche, or introducing a new form of content, like with funny moments videos. I don't know who started that, but that was genuinely a good fucking trend. That started, I believe, in that got popular in 2011, I believe, with Modern Warfare 3. I don't know if I'm wrong about this. I could be, because that's personally just when I started seeing the stuff on YouTube, is around the time frame of that game. But then GTA 5 trolling kind of blew up and etc. But look, the point of the video is that the internet is going to shit. Prioritize your mental health, prioritize your attention span being at a healthy range, prioritize having normal interests, don't be consuming sensationalist content, don't be going down any political rabbit holes, don't go down any weird internet rabbit holes, it's not worth it. None of this is normal. As far as things are going from normalcy, I've actually considered really just scaling back my usage of the internet entirely. I don't like to go on social media anymore. I can't stand to go on Twitter anymore, because Twitter is full of, let's just be quite frank here, morons that are pushing whatever ideology is psychologically controlling them. So the internet's pretty toxic nowadays, and YouTube is going down that route. And really, as a generation, I think we should really just be kind of returning back to a nice, normal state. We should bring normal things back. We should normalize reading. We should normalize watching good movies and good shows, as opposed to shows and movies that are meant to overstimulate you and keep you fixated onto the screen artificially. I believe as a generation, we should put down the bad and garbage music and replace it with music that's actually good, music that we're actually genuinely into, and not stuff that we are just kind of listening to for the sake of listening to it. I mentioned this precise thing in my video, reminiscing on 2016 music and society. It's a longer video, so if you don't really have the time to really kind of delve into that, I'll just kind of break down this point here. The thing about, rap music and etc. So I'm a fan of 90s Memphis rap. I like old 90s rap, you know what I mean? Some early 2000s stuff as well. But when you look at the music industry now, everything's mass produced, kind of like how YouTube videos are mass produced, and they will be soon with AI on a very large scale, by the way. Same with music. But if you look at the rap industry, it's all mass produced. It all sounds the same. All the lyrics are the same. Every artist sounds the same. The autotune all sounds the same. There's no creativity. It's all just genericism. And people listen to it because it's stimulating somehow. Maybe it's some sort of supplement to actually having an original personality. Oh, I listen to artist X or artist Y. Oh, cool. You're cool. Let's be cool together. That kind of stuff. Not to sound like some jaded boomer, but that's quite literally what happens. I grew up in the social circles. I have siblings that are falling victim to that shit. But same kind of thing. If we put down music like that, we put down bad games, bad movies, bad shows, bad everything, and just kind of bring things back that actually have integral value, we would be much better off as a generation, as a society, especially towards the future, because things look quite grim. If we're going to go down this AI, mass-produced, generic route, where there's no creativity, there's no sort of sincerity, I could only see dystopia being the only outcome. So yeah, take that as you will. I'll see you guys in the next video.